Hello and welcome to another World of Tanks video. This time I have two games to show you in my Comet, the Tier 7 British medium tank, which, well, it's a tank I've been playing, well, I was going to say a bit more conservatively, but no, I've been playing it a lot more conservatively lately, and it's actually very much improved kind of my performance in the Comet. These two games, they're both, as said, ones where I play very conservatively. And this one, I play very cautiously at the start, but then get a bit over-eager towards the end. But what I've essentially done here is I'm just pulling up in these bushes to try and spot people in the field. I'm doing this because, actually, our team has sent no one at all on the field, so I'm actually the only person who can really spot it at the moment. I didn't actually really want to come here, but when I saw that there was nobody guarding the field, I figured I would have to, which means that the first bit of this game is unfortunately me sitting here waiting to see if any enemy tanks decided to go this way. And so far there's nothing. And meanwhile, of course, the battle's, starting in the town. Enemy tanks to fight, damage to do, battles to win. I decided I've had enough of that. I probably should stay, have a look around, but I'm actually just not that patient, really. So I don't really enjoy doing this, particularly not when I know I've got a decent gun and can actually do a fair bit of damage if I should use it. So, enemy tanks spotted right above me, decide to go and get them, and of course that's when the first enemy tank in the field shows up. It's an IS-3. I was aiming for its lower glacis there, even though at that angle I probably can't penetrate it. But to be honest, at that angle and that range I probably couldn't penetrate it anywhere without using my APCR. But as it comes closer towards me, it starts to flatten the angle a bit, so I'm able to put one through its side, and that shot went somewhere, and that one missed as well. Okay, I am shooting poorly. Time to go up and help this Ferdinand, but Ferdinand's almost dead. Decide the best thing to do is actually go around and flank the STA-1 attacking it, but the Ferdinand dies well before I'm able to get anywhere near a position to support it. So, now I figure I'm just going to have to come up here and fight it out with these two mediums, which it's not too bad. The STA-2's a tier 8, so I'm only a tier 7, but that tier 20's pretty easy for me to deal with. I put two shots in it pulls back, and then I figure I have to focus on the STA-2 because our FCM-50, the French heavy tank, has gone around to flank it. So I put one shot in and get the kill. And I see an SU-122-44 out in the field, take a quick shot because I realise it's actually looking at me, or at least in my direction. Turn around and I see it's not doing that anymore, so I can just put as many shots as I like into its side. And there's one in, and it's moving around a bit, but I put a second shot in, and take one blind. I can't remember how many hit points it had, but it might have gone in. Third shot goes in. I got a bounce there as well because it angled its armour at the perfect moment. See a T-28 prototype and figured that's got a lot of armour, so there's not really much point me sniping at the front of it. And, well, my team's basically won in the city, and I'm just going to come up around the side here and hopefully try and support them as best I can. But when I get to here, I see I've got some shots on the side of the hull of the T-28 prototype. So I managed to put a shot in before it gets gunned down by my team. And the enemy are collapsing rapidly. I decided to try and drive over this hill. Actually, I just wanted to see if I could. And, well, by this point I've basically realised, well, I've come to the conclusion that our team's going to win, so it doesn't matter if I screw around a bit, driving over random piles of rubble. Only enemy tank left in the city is this T-3485, which is tier 6 medium, and not really any concern with me, and I've still got all my hit points, so I don't care if I take a few hits. I take one, but my tracks absorb it, and then come charging right in, Put a shot in, it hits me, but I don't care. Another shot in, and my team kill it for me. Only 3 enemy tanks remain, a Rheinmetall Borsig and 2 artillery pieces. And there's one of my allies just got killed, and I take a big hit from the Rheinmetall Borsig. But I have a very good idea where the Rheinmetall is, and I could probably guess what the artillery is. So what I decided to do is I'm going to push up aggressively and kind of scout along the lakeside here. I'm doing this because I see the 112s in a position to support me, and the Löwe, at the time, I thought it would come and be in a position to support me by the time I get here. But as you can see on the mini-map, it's actually going the opposite direction. So I've only got 1 heavy tank supporting me, but no, I'm still pretty happy. So I just charge over here, spot the artillery. I put a shot in, take a hit from the Rheinmetall, and then the artillery kills me. But spotted everyone for my friendly artillery in the 112, and you'll see in a second here. Don't get any kills, but we do a lot of damage to the Rheinmetall. The 112's in a position to kill both of them. The artillery just got tracked then. But well, I'm not going to show you how this game. Well, I'm not going to show you the end of this game. Mainly because it actually takes a really long time, and it's a bit odd. Anyway, we managed to win in the end. I got a Confederate medal, and you see, well, basically FV201 won it for us after the Löwe went to decide to guard the base from the enemy team. This game, again, playing very conservative, very snipey in the Comet. It's on Abbey, and I'm going on the far western side of the map along this ridgeline just because it gives me good opportunities to snipe into the central Abbey. And you can often catch enemy tanks on the flank there, and the Comet kind of needs that since it doesn't have a very high penetration gun. Kind of unfortunately though, basically our entire team, well, not our entire team, lots of our team have come this way as well, which means we kind of have to push up fairly aggressively, otherwise the enemy will overwhelm us in everywhere else on the map. Unfortunately, I haven't actually quite realised that yet, and I stopped to wait for my team to catch up with me. The A43 is pushing on ahead though, so I go with it. And I get to here, which is pretty good sniping position. Spot a couple of enemy mediums up in the Abbey. My first shot misses. Second shot misses. Third shot misses, and something's going on here. There we go, I got a hit in. And I miss again, which is odd. There must be something in my way that I just can't see, but anyway, that Cherry was killed. And now we see a Panther, and we've got its flank. We put 1 shot in, no obstructions this time, and we managed to get the kill. And now we're just going to have to push up and basically kill these enemy tanks in front of us, just to give... Well, we've sort of got to start putting pressure on the enemy cap to relieve the pressure on the rest of our team else around the map, who are heavily outnumbered. Enemy tank destroyers, but I'm in a held down position here. I'm very lucky I didn't shoot my ally then, but killed the Hellcat. And because I'm in a held down position, you see my turret front's actually pretty well armoured, so I got a bounce off the Stug 3 there. VK 3002M's poking around the corner, and I figure I'm going to go fight it. Managed to get another bounce there. And I track it and do some damage. It penetrates my frontal hull, and I think that time my track absorbs it, and it dies thanks to the fire of our friendly Leopard. So we've basically won on this flank, but well, as I said right beside, we're very hard pressed on the east. We're doing alright in the centre though. So now I decide to play probably a bit too conservatively to be honest, and I come up here to snipe into the enemy base. But that's just because the game previous to this, I got basically in this exact same situation, except I'd pressed aggressively on into the enemy base, and I think it was a couple of T-28s in that game, basically managed to pin us down before we got into the base. And we didn't have any fire support sitting up here to actually wear them down for us. So this time I decided we're not going to do that again, and I'm going to go up here and be the team's fire support. The only problem with that is the enemy tank destroyers defending the base are an AT-7 and AT-15A, and I really struggle to penetrate their frontal armour. I switched to APCR and I'm able to get 3 rounds through the cupola of the AT-15A. Then an ARL-44 shows up, so I switch back to armour piercing and just start firing away into its turret. And I'm only going up just as far as I need to be able to put some shots in. But I get another kill. I believe that's my 3rd. And now I start looking for where these enemy tanks have gone. Unfortunately, our team's not really pushing up as aggressively as I would like, but we've actually managed to turn things around on the east, so our team's pushing up on that side as well. Managed to track an AMX-12T and then finish it off with my 2nd shot. And there's the AT-7, it's got a nice big cupola for me to shoot at, but my shell bounced off it. Get a bit better that time, and you saw me pulling behind the rock there. It's actually completely unnecessary because this guy can't see me, but whatever, I suppose it's good practice to keep behind hard cover as much as you can. And well, now I can't see any of these tank destroyers either. There's just none of my allies in a position to spot them. So I go around to where I should be able to spot them myself and continue to put fire in. And oh, I've got the flank of the AT-15A, so of course I miss. And well, it gets killed before I can take the shot. Don't have shots on the 59-16, but here's an AT-7. And aiming for the cupola, but it bounces. And I miss. And I can't see it anymore, but I take a blind shot. And another blind shot, then I pull back because I've been spotted. Well, a shell explodes in the dirt right beside me. So now the AT-7's the only enemy tank left, and I figure I've kind of run out of reasons not to charge in there and try and encircle it. But I get here, I see it's giving me its side, so I'll happily, put shots through the side of that tank. And there we go. So that was 5 kills from playing very conservatively in the Comet. I managed to get the high caliber reward, only 1st class mastery, and I actually did a fair bit of spotting damage there, which I didn't really expect to, considering how I was hanging back and sniping away. But did 2,600 damage, which is pretty good actually. So that's kind of playing the Comet as a bit of a conservative snipery kind of tank, which is actually pretty good at, despite having poor penetration. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time.